Adam Christ from MyMMAnews.com, and I got the champ in the building, the BKFC bantamweight champion, Reggie Educated Barnett Jr. He's headlining the card at March 24th at BKFC Norfolk in Norfolk, Virginia. My man is going home to the 757 to put on a show in front of his hometown crowd. He's coming back and doing big things. The last time he competed in front of his hometown crowd, it was in another sport. Now he's the king of his sport, and he's getting to bring it back full circle. Reggie, it's been a minute, my man. It's always a pleasure catching up. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. Thank you so much for the introduction. And you tickled me. You're absolutely right. The last time I competed at home was, almost like 8 years ago. And that was in MMA, maybe 6, 7. But, so to come back and bring my sport of bare knuckle, in the inaugural, like this would be the first ever bare knuckle event in Virginia history ever.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So,
and they're bringing the BKFC champion, the hometown champion, in to represent in front of his hometown crowd. I mean, that's a story in itself. How does that make you feel?
Really, it's not just about how I feel. It's the people around me who've, seen my journey, know my struggles, my ups and downs, and the road to get there. I want them to feel good from it. For them to, have some of that radiance of what I've accomplished, and maybe, possibly take it and go out and, do something great for themselves.
I love it. So I want to start leading up to the moment. So my first question of this is, once you got the news, where were you and what was going on, and what was your initial thought process when you found out that Johnny Bedford had retired and left the belt open? What was your initial thoughts? Where were you? Can you just picture everything?
I was at work, and somebody messaged me and said, "Yo, Bedford, congratulations, undisputed champ. Bedford just retired." And initially I was just like, what? Hold up. And I had seen the live. I started watching it initially, but I had some things I had to take care of in my day. So I didn't get to the point where he actually officially announced it. I was shocked. I was a little heartbroken, a little disappointed, but I also felt accomplished. You won the 2 battles, but I won the war. You still haven't, you can say you were a belt holder, but you never came back and solidified your championship. And, any retrospect, the only defense you had, you lost. That's not a champion. You got to earn what you have and then defend it, whether it was against me, whether it was against that, whether it was against a Grant. That was a part of history I was hoping for either one of us, And so now I get a chance to be the first one to actually solidify, their legacy, their place in a weight class. Like Luis is a certified champ. He's been his belt how many times? AJ certified champ. Christine certified champ. There's been no real certified champ at 135. We've all kind of been circulatory belt holders. So I'm ready to solidify this as the real true 135 champ.
And in your last fight against Gene Herrera, you continue to do exactly what you're doing. It was a fight where you continued showing your evolution and the educated hands. That process just continues to unfold. So again, you coming home to the 757, what does that do for just your motivation? Just motivation while you're in the gym, just knowing that you're coming home back to Virginia, put in front of your crowd. How does that just amplify?
You should ask my students, because I'll be, when we're in the gym training and working, I'm like, not in my backyard. Ain't nobody coming here. You ain't PT, so, and then to have their support behind it too, they're like, yeah, this is our house, coach. Nobody's coming, and they all start grinding a little harder too. It's just that mindset. Like, normally the mindset is to beat me, you got to kill me. And now it's like, you can't even kill me, because where I'm going to be at as far as my skill level and my energy, being right here at home. It's going to be fun. It's going to be so much fun just to go out there and fight and just enjoy what I do and put on a performance for the people that I know and love, and the people in my state who maybe haven't even seen or heard my story yet. It might touch them or help them reach out and touch somebody else.
I was listening to some of your past interviews, adding on to what you were just saying. You just segued me great. And you were speaking so humbly about yourself. I know you're a humble person, and I totally get that. But you were mentioned quoting that you weren't sellable. And it struck me personally, it struck me the wrong way, because not just as a fight fan, a homie, an acquaintance, whatever you want to call it. Let's just paint the picture here. From prison to pay-per-view, you started out at the tryouts, you worked your way up to the title organically. I emphasize that, organically. You had a minor setback. Okay, that's fine. You went back to the drawing board. You focused, you overcame the adversity and continued to climb until you made it back, which is where you sit now. I'm sorry, but if that's not a story that's sellable, tell me one that is.
I don't, I never set out to be famous, superstar, whatever, Dave told me that. And initially after like the first try, he's like, we're going to make you a superstar. And I'm kind of like, I can fight my ass off, but I'm not really doing it for me. I'm doing it for God. And, so people can see the work that's been done in my life. And there have been some tough times, even within, being at the top of my game, so it's sell the work. That's what I always said. And even if you can't sell me, you can sell the work. Like you said, the evolution. From start to finish, you can see the evolution of my game within this sport.
And you mentioned tough times, and I'm not going to pry, but is that more over on a professional level of tough times or a personal level? Is it?
I think all of it is a little bit of intertwined. When this is your life, when this is your lifestyle, most of those things are intertwined. I lost some people that were really close to me. I made a few bad decisions of my own, and then just still kind of almost like you said, man, world champion. And for me, the expectation is not to be like Floyd Mayweather or Muhammad Ali or anything, but, still at least give me some credit for my freaking work that I put in. The first person to achieve 10 fights. And the first person that come back and actually win a title, give me throw a little shine on the accomplishments, history that I have made in and outside the sport circle.
From tryout to champion, I think that's the first one as well.
Yeah, exactly. But that's neither here nor there for me, because when you see me go out there and perform, to most people are like, man, why is he so good? Why does he fight this way? Well, you have to go back and you have to understand the whole story in order to understand, that. And then when you understand the whole story, it's like, man, this man makes no excuses. He gets up and go get it. What am I doing? First, God first. Find that direction when you don't have it there, and be willing to get up and go get it. I trained while I was at work. I was still working. I got paid for all of it, and then I got off work and did some more work, and then spent time with my family. But I enjoy my life, so it's fun enjoying in the process.
Now, obviously, it's a very social media world. People get to see what people are doing at any given time. So you mentioned the other day, sorry, God, I wasn't listening, something like that along those lines. Can you emphasize on that or care to?
Yeah, this, like I said, I never got out of prison and said, oh, I'm going to be champion of the world in bare knuckle, or, all of this God has laid before my feet, all this opportunity, and my willingness to do the work and to be present in the things. And there was other work that was set out for me to do, not just to beat people up, and I kind of veered away from it. And I know that he was trying to steer me back to it, and because of some of, just my rough times and trying to, I guess, find my place as a world champion in this world, could have been avoided if I wasn't just hearing and was actually listening, And so that's why I decided January I was going to get up and hit the ground running, not know, oh, new year, new this, blah, 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 none of that crap, but really do the work that was set out in front of me to do within the gifts and the talents that I was given. We have a free, open to the, public seminar that I'm doing, self-defense, bare knuckle and hand-to-hand combat seminar for my community. I just got volunteered for a non-violence rally, a community volunteer. Like these are the things that God put me here to do, and He gave me my skill. And I know it's violence. Somebody was like, "Well, what you do is violence." I said, "But there's a difference." And I said, "I'm not a violent person. I'm just good at violence." All right. But the type of violence that I do is competitionary wise. I don't like to see people out there doing the things that I was doing when I was out there running the streets and getting in trouble. Those things, I try to bring people away from with what I do. And that mission is more important than just having this belt or this change or anything like that. And I was getting away from that for a while.
Adding on to that, I'm just going to say, I mean, people can say violence, violence, violence all they want, but you know what? At the end of the day, yes, it is violence, but it's in a competition form. And even if you took it a step further, you can take that home to make it a self-defense. You can teach your kids self-defense. You could teach your wife self-defense. If an intruder comes in, I kind of doubt somebody's going to want to roll up in the BKFC champ and then want to throw some with them. You know what I'm saying? Like you can defend your household. So all of that facets of violence can be used in multiple facets of life.
Yeah, yeah, and that in the fight game in itself, we teach, within the educated hands fighting system that it's not just about fighting. It's about being accountable. It's about self-discipline, motivation, dedication, consistency, perseverance, fortitude. And then you say, "Well, I'm just saying words." Well, look up what these words mean and the things that you have to do to actually live behind these words, and not just in the ring, but actually in life. And when you actually walk towards those things, and you walk in a better light, and you wake up the next morning and it's like you have work to do, but it's not like, man, it's like, all right, let me go get this done so I can get to this, so I can get to this, and those lessons are taught, for me within fighting. Most of my analogies when I talk to people either about baseball or fighting.
Now, baseball, that one throws me off a little bit. Were you an old slugger back in the day?
Yes, I love playing baseball, but Reggie stayed the same size in high school and everybody got bigger. When that ball started coming, in the low 90s to the mid 90s, I started losing track.
Hey, man, yeah, they could say what they want, but Ricky Henderson had a bright career. So, you know what I'm saying? Hey, after fighting, it's there for you now. But do you have a name yet? I know you couldn't say it before, you couldn't release, but any details that you can release now?
No, I can't drop the name yet, and I'll get it this close. I'm waiting for 2 events to take place within the next week, and we'll find out whether I'm defending my 135-pound title, because really I'm top dog in this weight class, and there's not really anybody too worthy to fight me at 135. And then, it's not like it's any secret that I've been begging and wanting to be at 125 or do a 125 tournament. But at this point, 125 tournament is out the window. If I fight again, it's going to be, I'm ready to go at 125, and it'll be for the 125-pound world title. So either way, it's strap season. We'll just see, which direction the wind blows as far as which weight it'll be strap season at. And I'll leave you with that.
Do you have a preference of either one that you would like to vie for? I know you've been wanting to change classes for a while, but obviously you are the champ at 135. So anyone you prefer?
I would honestly prefer to go ahead and solidify my legacy at 135 with a tough fight, but a great title defense, and then move on. But at the same time, you take whatever path is laid before you, and it was something I asked for myself. So if it's laid at my feet, I can't just turn around and be like, I want to eat it no more. I asked you to cook this for me, but when it was finally ready, the meal was served. I was like, nah, I don't want to eat it. I'm not that disrespectful as a person.
Now, I want to get back to you coming home. I know you said it's going to mean so much for so many people. But I want to ask what it's going to mean to you personally. It's like you said, you're coming back in the pinnacle of your career as the champion of your sport. The last time you competed there, as I said in the intro, was in a completely other sport. But you mentioned something. You said it might be the best night of other people's life, and you didn't say you. That makes me curious. What is this night going to mean to Reggie Barnett Jr.?
See, when you ask that question, the humility side of me that I always try to, I guess, exemplify goes out the window.
Yeah.
In the nicest way possible. For me, it is all of you who said that I wasn't going to do shit or be shit or whatever. Now you see me, and you have to see me in the bright lights. You know, and it's like that's how I feel about it when I'm thinking about, because at a certain point, so many people had written me off here at home, and I feel like I wasn't given the credit or the respect, which, is earned. Nothing is just given. And I feel like I had finally earned it, and it just really wasn't there. So now, in this capacity, whether you want to or not, as what was that rapper? So you gotta put some respect on my name.
Whether you want to or not, whether you like it or hate it, you're just gonna have to.
Yeah, I worked really hard. I sacrificed a lot, but I've also done a lot for other people in my community within the bounds of having this platform and using it. And so to see the other people who really didn't support me, who just truly didn't understand or see the vision, because not everybody sees your vision, but especially the ones who just tried to kick me while I was down. I'm all the way up, and ain't nothing you can do about it at this point, but sit there with your neck up and watch it all.
And while you're giving the applause.
Whether the nicest way I could put it, but then also for, because I talk to kids all the time. We have kids that come to the gym and work with the young guys. For them to see, me go out there and live my dream and have fun and enjoy life to its fullest capacity right there in front of their eyes, it feels good to be able to know that I'm going to inspire some more people. And in that inspiration, I see God's work changing the world. However, and so I told everybody, I can't take these chains, I can't take these belts, none of that shit, but the legacy that I leave behind, this is a part of it. It's going to have a lasting effect on not just my kids' generation, but the generation behind.
I love it, man. And I'm going to start winding it down a little bit, but I do want to keep the attention on you real quick. And this one's, you talked about the legacy, what you're going to be leaving for the fans, for everybody, family, everybody, for the world to see. Now, I want to get a little bit of a smaller circle into your family, right? Your sister, you've talked about it before. She's very successful in her real estate career. Your brother, he's got his master's and he works in the military, if I'm not mistaken, but also works at the gym as well. Yep. And nobody has been able to witness your story, Reggie Educated Hands Barnett Jr. story, better than your own personal family, sisters, brothers, moms, dads, everything. And again, sister went and did her thing. Brother went and did his thing. And then you had the little bit more of a rough start, right? Look at you now, right? That story has been rewritten. So what does it mean for the Barnett family? Just that tight circle, the Barnett family, just seeing you, look at you now. Look at you now, dude.
Yeah. It just, our family, I won't say creed or motto is all hands in, all hands raise up, which means that, everybody is going to put their hands in, and when it's time to fight, everybody in this family is going to put their hands in. And we all go for each other. Man, I'm emotional about it. My family has done so much to fight for me at the times that I would not fight for myself. or couldn't. So to go out there and be a representation of my lineage, my heritage, man, it's fucking awesome, man. Brings tears in my eyes thinking about it.
I mean, I'm not going to say as it should. You're your own man and you decide your own feelings, but I completely understand why. It's because, again, I see it, man. I see the rough start, the whole story. I've been talking to you for years now, and then seeing you, the pinnacle of your game and the champion. The tried and true champion is here, ladies and gentlemen. Reggie Educated Barnett Jr. Final thing for you.
Educated hands. Educated hands. Reggie,
I said
educated hands.
Easy educated hands. Okay. I tried to make it all dramatic too, and I got corrected.
It's all good. And I got my lip busted again this morning. Damn thing will not heal. I gotta stop catching that straight right to the mouth.
So final thing I got for you. It's our first interview for this year together. So it's still early enough to discuss. I know you're not my year, new year, whatever, but any potential resolutions, what does this year have in stock for Easy Educated Hands to be the top of your game, the best of the best?
So there's levels to the sport, to life in general. You can be good, you can be great, you can be amazing. Oh man, there's another one. Right. Dang it. Anyways, I'm working the mastery level in every aspect of my life. And just being a man, being a father, still being a son, being a manageable fighter, being a combat sportsman. But when we talk about separate those two things. Mastery in life is continued growth, right? Mm-hmm. And mastery in combat sports is continued growth. And you take both of those things and you put them together, you almost create an unstoppable force. That's what's going to be there in March. I'm working the combat mastery level. I'm working the life mastery level.
There he goes, Reggie. Easy Educated Hands Barnett Jr., ladies and gentlemen. I got chills just listening to him close it out. But Reggie, man, it's always a pleasure. I love catching up with you, as you know. And I just wish nothing but the best for you, man. This story is one of my favorite. I'll tell it time and time again. And I just love watching it unfold. That's
what it's about, like not me. Don't celebrate me or whatever. Celebrate God's work in the story. When we stop doing everything electronically, somebody sits down and they tell my story. Whoever's in the room, there's no way somebody doesn't get motivated to get up off their ass and go get something for themselves.
It's impossible.
and so that's what I'm talking about. That's why we're gonna keep working my ass off and grinding hard until I'll ride this train till the wheels fall off.
That's it. I love it. All right, brother. That's gonna do it for us. I'm gonna close it out here. But anything else you want to add, feel free. And other than that, man,
I normally have like a list of 15 sponsors, and I'm not busting them out right now. You guys know who you are. We'll post it when we share the video. All my sponsors up there. Thank you all for your love and support. I really appreciate it, Adam. Thank you so much for having me. And I will see you in March, man. You better be there.
I'm going to be coming your way before March. Me and Chase have some things planned, and I definitely plan to be there in March. I don't necessarily know if I'll be there working. I just want to be there to witness as a fan.
Hey, come as you are.
I love it. Easy Educated Hands Barnett. The champ is in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Reggie, thank you so much for joining me.
You have a good one, brother. Thank you.
You too, brother. Thank you so much.